Santana.
Hello and welcome to Barbarian Law, the YouTube channel. Hannah Montana, Molly Santana, no Hannah Montana. Okay, what do these lyrics actually mean? Today we are going to be discussing that in the context of name, image, and likeness, NIL. So NIL was put into place in the NCAA in 2021. It allowed college athletes to make money off their likeness. It was meant to encourage students to stay in school longer. For example, marketable college athletes like Zion Williamson, like Lonzo Ball, who had a following before they got to college, they would likely be able to make money and stay longer than 1 year before they go to the NBA. So this is something that enables people to make money off of the commercial use of their identity. And it also allows people to sue when their commercial identity is being used without their permission. A recent example of that is when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander served a cease and desist to Underdog Sports for using his image on a board game of Operation, where every time you touch Shai, it turned into a foul. So these types of situations of defamation, they're also affected by name, image, and likeness because you're using someone's name and likeness without their permission. So we're going to be discussing that. And Molly Santana, no Hannah Montana. This is something that is very esoteric because Drake is saying something when he's saying this. Molly Santana, no Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana is a fictional person. Molly Santana is a real person. So Hannah Montana is not able to claim name, image, and likeness rights because she's a fictional person. Her likeness and fictional rights are controlled by Disney, which are a part of copyright and trademark law. So similar to how Barbarian Law has a trademark, if someone uses Barbarian Law in a commercial setting without my permission, I can then ask them to refrain, or if they make money off of my name, I can ask for a portion of the funds. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about Molly Santana. As a real person, she can attract rights of name, image, and likeness. So she could sue me for saying her name if I was making money off of it, but because I'm not making money off of this video, I could say Molly Santana, no Hannah Montana, and I can rest assured that I won't be sued. Someone who cannot rest assured that they won't be sued is Universal Music Group and Kendrick Lamar, who works for Universal, so he wouldn't be a party to the lawsuit, it would be with his employer. So the label has two rappers that are beefing each other, and one is defaming legally another artist. So if someone has heard the song Janice STFU, it's about how Drake owed Universal 3 albums and he dropped 3 albums at once. So that was able to get him out of his contract and he's free to able to go contract with someone else. Would you want to contract with someone who's defaming you? Obviously not. So when he made that song Bees on the Table, he meant billions on the table from private equity that he is able to work with, and he can skip the whole label, system entirely. Because the labels now, they control the artists. They can shelve artists, so they can sign artists and just have them never produce any music to increase the popularity of their existing artists that they may have more financial incentive to promote. So if Kendrick Lamar doesn't own any of his own music, it's owned by Universal, obviously Universal would want to promote his music. And Drake, if he owns his own masters and he only has a contract for 5 albums with Universal, those 5 albums, after that is finished, you know, Drake can go do whatever he wants. So they may not have as much of a commercial reason for promoting Drake as much as Kendrick Lamar. Okay, so this is broad implications, right, for the World Cup. If you use a player or a national team's likeness, image without permission, if you use the word FIFA World Cup in making money from that, you can expect when the World Cup starts in a couple of weeks that FIFA is going to come to your door and ask you to remove anything that has their intellectual property on it. So as we approach the World Cup, you'll see that FIFA has their own vendors that they try to steer you towards, like their own sponsors, Coca-Cola, Budweiser, stuff like that. So when you go to the FIFA sponsored events, you'll see that only their advertisers are present and other licensed vendors who have gotten permission from FIFA. So when you're throwing an event like FIFA, you want to make sure all the vendors are paying you some sort of fee. So this is all an element of control. And me, I'm not a big fan of intellectual property. I think that the pharmaceutical companies, the publishing companies like Thomson Reuters, they're controlling information where this information should be freely accessible into the public domain. And same thing with cures that are never found by the pharmaceutical companies. Instead, they just find prevention treatments that never end up. I don't think the pharmaceutical companies ever cure the disease because they make more money from treating it. And as they have a fiduciary duty to their shareholders, then they actually are obligated to continue treating disease rather than curing them. So this is why the broad implications of NIL affect intellectual property as a whole, and commercial success of individuals depends on their ability to use the right of publicity and profit off of their name. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, leave a comment if you want to see more videos like this. We'll see you during the World Cup. Hannah Montana, Mali Santana, no, Hannah Montana, Mali Santana, no, Hannah Montana.